If you're anything like me, you found yourself learning and learning and learning, and you've learned so many new things that you've forgotten half of what you learned. So in this video, talking about core value number 2, knowledge is potential power, I want to clear up some of the nuances in what is going to help you take action. It is widely known, and there are a million different phrases for it, fortune favors the bold. Those who act are those who win. So if you start to take action on what we just talked about in the previous video, which is linked down below in the playlist on market knowledge, you need to act on what you know. Again, if you're going to be taking the time to not only look in the MLS, pull statistics, go look at active properties, how can you capitalize on all of that information that you have gathered? It's absolutely critical that you use what you know to show your expertise, right? Now, I know there's a phrase out there, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Now, when you're delivering these messages, this cannot be cold, robotic, here are the facts and figures for the month. You need to connect with these people. So there's a whole other side of our world, right, in connecting with people, in forming relationships. So this is not in a silo what I'm going to talk about here. I'm just focusing on the market knowledge itself. So you need to show what you know. How do you do that, right? You can talk about it in different videos, you can create guides, but what binds that all together is it's got to be content creation. You have to be actively out there showing people your value. And how you do that, what media you choose, is up to you. Again, I'm a strong believer in not only YouTube like this, but also private Facebook groups. Now, if you haven't already seen the playlist on creating and growing and converting a private Facebook group, there's a link down below to that playlist, as well as a link to a Facebook group that I've created teaching realtors step by step in detail how to go about using that method to help them grow their business. So feel free to check that one out. Now, how do you really harness all of that knowledge to achieve true separation from the pack? You really need to, again, consistently gather all of the new, current, old, and potentially future, I'm talking projections here, all that data, and start to craft your message. And that message is not supposed to be a biased one. That is not intended to mean share the message that's going to most benefit you, the agent, here and now, right? Short-term gain is not what this is all about. This is about establishing your brand, establishing you as the expert. You need to show everything that you have and simply keep it real. Now, a few agents in my organization are nervous and were nervous when they first started sharing their knowledge, and they felt like, they weren't good enough, and so down the street or at the other brokerage simply does it better than me. Well, the reality is in most markets, there are very few, if any, agents actively sharing their knowledge with the public, right? With their email list, with their active clients, that's a different story. But it is a new approach for most areas to widely share your knowledge, and again, asking for nothing in return, because if you start to ask, that is a push off for people, for a lot of people anyway. You need to give without expecting anything in return, and the returns will be tenfold of anything you ever thought. So that wraps up core value number 2. Again, knowledge is potential power, and I hope you see how powerful that is in and of itself. Don't get stuck in a continually learning phase, because it feels like progress, but without action, it simply isn't. So, hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or want to chat about anything under the sun, feel free to reach out to me or drop a question in the comments. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next video.